Rayman is coming back sooner rather than later, and if the leaks are to be believed, we could have a remake on our hands. So to sum up really quickly, it was leaked a while ago by Insider Gaming that Rayman was not only being worked on as a brand, but that a remake called Project Steambot internally was being worked on. Now further leaks have been made by Insider Gaming saying there is a remake in the works, and if that does well then Rayman 4 will happen. This is about the pros and the cons and the fun stuff we want to see, the crappy stuff we don't want to see, what we love about Rayman 1, what we hate about Rayman 3, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's delve into the raving world of Rayman Raving Rabbids, also known as Rayman 4. Kind of, technically, whatever, let's get into it. So Rayman Raving Rabbids, probably one of the more controversial Rayman games to ever be released, and one that most people wouldn't consider would be getting a remake, and I have my opinions on whether or not it will be getting a remake, but I think it's very interesting to discuss what could be. Because what I'm saying here, fundamentally, is if Rayman Raving Rabbids does get remade, I want it to be an entirely different game. I essentially want it to be a new game. I want it to be Rayman 4. So a lot of you may already know this, but very briefly in case you don't, Rayman Raving Rabbids, the minigame extraordinaire that we ended up getting, was completely different to the game that was not only planned but advertised by Ubisoft originally when advertising and announcing Rayman 4, otherwise known as Rayman Raving Rabbids. You were supposed to be punching rabbits, beating them up, running around in an open world and all of that, and it was supposed to be an action platformer much like Rayman 3, kind of a direct sequel to Rayman 3. But everything changed course, it became a launch title, or at least a tech demo basically for the Wii, and blah blah blah. The rest is history. Rabbids took over, Rayman died, he came back as a 2D mascot, died as quick as he came back, and there we go, it's been 12 years, and we're finally getting him back next year. But what if what we got back was the original Rayman 4 plan? Now I spoke about this with Rayman Together on a podcast episode I made probably 6 months ago now, and he actually brought this suggestion up, and ever since then, it's been on my mind. I hadn't considered this. What if we got the original plan for Rayman 4? What if we got the Rabbids game that was originally being made? We are getting that, which is exactly why I don't think this will happen. Rayman Raving Rabbids Reborrowed is a fan game being made by fans, which is basically taking a bunch of files that were found of the original Rayman Raving Rabbids, or the Rayman 4, and they're remaking or bringing to completion the original plan based on whatever plans and files and made content they could and everything like that. I've worded that horrendously. Basically, they're trying to finish off what was cancelled. Now again, say it with me, much like Rayman 2 and 3, if Ubisoft were at the Rayman Alive event and Ubisoft was supporting all of the projects at the Ubisoft fan event, there is no way Ubisoft are remaking Rayman Raving Rabbids in the way that it was originally intended, because that is exactly happening already by fans. That said, if they did do it, I'll tell you what I want to see and how awesome it would be. So like I said, I want to see the original plan, but I want to see crazy rabbits. Like, I don't know if you remember from the trailer, there were crazy looking freaks of nature. They were fluffy, they looked demonic, they looked evil, they were big mechanical rabbids. I want to see it all. I want Rayman to have hundreds of abilities. Sod it, I'll say it. I want to see this thing release on the Wii with the motion controls like originally intended. I think that'd be so fun. I guess now it would have to release on the Switch or the Switch 2 or whatever, and you know, you swing the Joy-Cons or whatever. But yeah, I want to be able to punch like the trailer suggested. I want to see all of that stuff come back. I want to see it intact. I want to have loads of costumes. I want to have ridiculous music. I want to have scuzzy visuals. I want to see it be an open world, essentially, because I'm not 100% sure really what the plan was, but from what I can see, there were all sorts of levels, all sorts of areas to explore, and while it didn't look super fleshed out, whether that's because they were going for a more barren look or they just never got that far into development, I would love it just to be an open world, and you run around and you just come across hordes of rabbids and you kick them to shit, you know? Like the minigame games, except this time it's fun. I don't know, throw some minigames in there as well. Make it like the ultimate Raving Rabbids experience. I always thought, as a kid, that when you finish the minigames and you get the plunges to the top and Rayman escapes out the window, that then the rest of the game would unlock and you'd go around punching the rabbits. I was under that impression as a kid. Turns out lots of people were. Imagine if they just did that. Imagine the ultimate turnaround. You release Raving Rabbids 1 and everyone's like, oh, great, fair enough, a couple of lucky people play it, they finish it, the original game opens up, and it's just a brand new game. I think that would be a horrible trolling from Ubisoft, to be honest, but I think it'd be so funny and I would love to see that. But yeah, obviously what I don't want to see is an abundance of mini games. I want to see the original plan. I don't want the Rabbids to be minions again like they were before. Obviously they came first and they're the reason the minions exist. I just want to see basically a sequel to Rayman 3. I want to see a proper Rayman 4. Which admittedly I don't think they're going to do, because as that leak suggested, if the remake does well then they're going to commission Rayman 4. So I don't think what they're going to do is remake the cancelled Rayman 4. I think it's unlikely. This video is really just for a bit of fun, but to get the idea out there that what would it be like if Ubisoft did finish off the work they originally started with Rayman 4. Obviously, like I said, Rayman Raving Rabbids Reborrowed does exist, and it's incredibly cool and a massive sign that Ubisoft themselves aren't doing it. But I just think it'd be really cool, and I think it's fun to talk about. I haven't really got a lot else to say about it. I think in terms of cons, again, business brain hack coming on here, they'd be shooting themselves in the foot if they remade a Rabbids game, even if they remade it the original way. I just think the Rabbids name associated and attached to Rayman is not a good look. I just don't think it'll ever really, I don't think they can get out of the reputation that the Rabbids have and the way that it's sort of considered to have dragged Rayman down, you know? So I think, yeah, business brain wise, it'd be a bad idea. I don't think we'd ever see Rayman 4 if that happened, but it's worth considering. I would want it to look good. Like, I'd want it to look scuzzy and gross. Like, I'd want them to lean into the horror, because it looked like it was going to be dark. Like, there were horrible caves with spiders and gross rabbids and stuff. Like, I want them to lean into that. I know that kind of goes against the sort of vibe that Rayman Raving Rabbids ended up going for, but at this point I just want to see something different from the series. I want a 3D platformer and I want it to be fun, and I know a lot of people might not be into this, but I did really like the action of Rayman 3, and I would love to see a very action-heavy, punching hordes of Rabbids style Rayman Raving Rabbids. But yeah, like I say, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Origins and Legends are actually far more likely, so be sure to tune into my videos on them, coming very, very soon. But until then, let me know in the comments what you would want to see from Rayman Raving Rabbids Remake. Do you think it's likely? What would you want to see? What would you not want to see? Do my ideas hold any weight? Do you think they sound good? Do you think they sound appalling? Let me know in the comments. Let's get discussions going and let's work out as a collective fan base what we want this remake to be. We don't even know what game they're remaking, so if I just make all these videos, one of these is going to be the correct game. So at some point, if Ubisoft ever looked in the comment sections of the correct one, they might get some ideas, or it's too late and they've already finished the game. I got no idea. Please, someone at Ubisoft contact me. I want to know. I'm only kidding. If you do work at Ubisoft and you're seeing this video, that's really cool. That's enough for me, though I am obviously desperate to see this game, as is every other Rayman fan. So I just hope whatever you're doing, you're having fun with. I hope it's filled to the brim with creativity, just like all the other Rayman games, and I personally can't wait to see it. But if you do wanna send it to me, if you wanna send me a little early download code, I'm not gonna say no. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Goodbye.